No one would have believed security guard Ethan if he hadn't captured on camera the strange events that unfolded that night. Over his several months working at the mortuary, he had seen plenty of disturbing things, but nothing topped the bizarre sight of a young woman seemingly coming back to life. And he wasn't about to deal with it on his own. At first, the police thought Ethan was just pulling a prank, claiming that a woman had revived in the mortuary. They had heard plenty of odd claims before, but nothing as outlandish as this. Ethan had the video proof to back up his story, and when the officers saw it, they rushed to the mortuary but couldn't reach it fast enough. With every door locked, the woman, whether dead or alive, had to still be inside. No one knew what she was doing, but the officers were determined to put an end to the chaos. They broke into the building and quickly found her, yet what they witnessed left them deeply shaken. How had she come back? And what exactly did the officers encounter inside? Working the night shift at the morgue was never easy, and even though Ethan had been there for months, he still felt uneasy among all the lifeless bodies. That night, however, something happened that he would never forget. A young woman's body was wheeled in. She had passed away just a few hours earlier and was immediately taken to the mortuary. The pathologist didn't explain what had occurred or why he was so interested in this case. He merely told Ethan not to check the cameras in the operating room. Ethan found this odd, as the pathologist usually did autopsies during the day and definitely not in the middle of the night. After all, it wasn't like Ethan had never seen a dead body before. Ethan helped the pathologist bring in the woman's body, but as soon as they were finished, the pathologist ordered him to leave and take his break. Of course, Ethan wasn't about to relax, especially after growing even more curious about the case. He pretended to leave, but quietly turned around and made his way to his security booth. The pathologist fell for his act and didn't suspect a thing. Ethan settled into his seat and started reviewing the screens, but nothing could have prepared him for what was about to happen. On the video, he saw the pathologist walking around the body without really paying attention to it. The pathologist arranged his knives and a few other tools on a table beside her, and it looked like he was about to make his first incision when he suddenly stopped and abruptly left the room. This unexpected move left Ethan completely puzzled. He waited for the pathologist to return, but after 15 minutes there was still no sign of him. Ethan rewound the footage and saw the pathologist leaving the building. But why would he do that? After another 10 minutes, Ethan decided to step outside and investigate, even though the chance of anything happening was slim given the low crime rate in the area. Still, he wondered if there was more to the story, if the situation was somehow connected to the body. These thoughts filled his mind as he slowly approached the front door. He pushed it open and shone his flashlight into the pitch-black night. The only sound was the hum of the building's air conditioning, though he did notice a car in the parking lot that hadn't been there before. Just as he was about to return inside, he heard a strange sound. "Hello?" he called out, but no one answered. Shrugging it off, Ethan went back inside, closed the door, and locked it behind him, so that if the pathologist returned, he'd have to be let in. Initially planning to go back to his security booth, the unsettling sight of the mysterious body in an empty room made him change his mind. He bypassed his booth and headed straight for the autopsy room, his heart pounding as he reached for the handle. Taking a deep breath, he swung the door open to find the young woman lying on the cold table. Ethan had never seen a body up close before. His only exposure had been through crime movies. At the morgue, he was used to seeing bodies packed in bags, not lying out on a table. He circled around cautiously, keeping a respectful distance so as not to tamper with any evidence. Being alone in the room without the pathologist was risky, and leaving his fingerprints on her skin would have made things even worse. He lingered for a few minutes, then noticed something odd. The woman's arms, which had been straight by her side the entire time, were now slightly bent. Was it just his imagination? Determined to find out, he hurried back to his booth. Just as he was about to open his door, the doorbell rang, startling him and making his heart race once again. He cautiously approached the front door and asked, "Who was there?" but received no answer. Slowly, he opened the door to find it empty. That evening was becoming stranger by the minute. Ethan quickly returned to his booth, sat down, and turned his attention back to the screens. When he tried to locate the feed from the autopsy room, it was missing. At first, he thought an old recording might be playing by accident, but he soon realized that the footage was actually live. Ethan's heart sank as he pieced together what was happening. Perhaps the table holding the young woman had shifted when he closed the door. Or maybe something else was going on. He decided to rewind the footage to a moment when he was still visible on camera, hoping to catch any clues about what happened next. Even though the video quality wasn't great, he could clearly see the body moving. The young woman was gently swaying from side to side on the table, which in turn made the table shift. Ethan knew that sometimes muscle spasms can occur after death, but the movement he was seeing was too consistent and too timely to be explained that way. It turned out that the woman wasn't truly dead at all. The accident she had been in had nearly left her in a coma, and she had managed to awaken on her own. It was a major oversight by the doctor on the scene not to notice this immediately, so the police quickly rushed her to a hospital to receive the proper care. After the incident, an internal investigation was launched at the facility, and everyone was left questioning the chain of events that led to the mistake. Colleagues and superiors discussed how such an oversight could occur and implemented new protocols to ensure that every piece of evidence was thoroughly checked, even during the quiet of the night shift. In the days that followed, local media picked up on the story, and the community was abuzz with rumors and theories. Many speculated about the possibility of supernatural involvement, while others insisted it was simply a case of human error. Regardless of the cause, the incident sparked a significant debate about the standards and practices at the mortuary, leading to heated discussions in both official meetings and casual conversations. Within a few weeks, the hospital released a statement confirming that the young woman was recovering well and that her unusual revival had been attributed to an extremely rare physiological response. Medical experts weighed in, stressing that while such recoveries were highly uncommon, they were not entirely unheard of, which gradually calmed the fears of an overly dramatic public. As the investigation wrapped up, new safety measures were put into place, and training sessions were held to ensure that all staff were prepared for any unexpected scenarios. Although the events of that eerie night were never fully explained, they served as a wake-up call for everyone involved, reminding them that even in a setting where death was a daily occurrence, life could sometimes make a surprising and inexplicable return. After the investigation closed, Ethan found that the experience had changed him profoundly. He began to take a more active role in ensuring that every protocol was followed to the letter, determined to prevent another bizarre incident from slipping through the cracks. His colleagues started looking up to him as someone who wasn't afraid to ask tough questions and dig deeper, and slowly, the atmosphere at the facility became more vigilant and unified. In the months that followed, the entire team learned to balance skepticism with empathy when dealing with the unexpected. They recognized that even in a job shadowed by death, life sometimes fought its way back in the most unusual manner. While the mystery of that unforgettable night was never completely solved, it united the staff in their commitment to excellence and served as a lasting reminder of the unpredictable nature of life.